There, I am dressed like Aiden from Watch Dogs, like in the new Watch Dogs Legion DLC. I'm going to see Black Widow in IMAX. Let's do this. So, I just finished watching Black Widow. There is an after-credit scene, if you wanted to know. There's only one, which is right at the end of the credits, so there's no mid-credit scene. It's the movie credits, then right at the end of the credits, you get an after-credit scene involving a character from the movie. Now, I never understand how people take so long to order things at cinema, like popcorn or nachos or whatever you're having. It takes some people so long, and I always wonder what they're doing, because it doesn't take that long. But I remember one family today was there, like there were 10 people in the queue, including myself, and it took us ages to get through the queue, and that one family was still there, the one cashier, the whole time, and we all got served by other cashiers. It's so weird. I always wonder why it takes so long for some people. Also, they started the movie early. Usually there's like 20 minutes plus of adverts, half of it trailers. This time I was like in the queue at 4:30 when the movie started. Well, it didn't start, that was the movie start time, but usually that would be like 4:50 at the minimum. I stood in the queue for 15 minutes. I got my hot dog, I went in, and the movie had already started. I thought it was an advert. I sat down thinking, oh, it's an advert, let me just post quickly on Instagram and vlog for a couple seconds. Then I was just like, wait a second, this is the movie. I was watching the opening scene. So I'm pretty sure it's the opening scene, but I missed the opening credits or whatever. I don't think I missed that much, because apparently the opening scene involves two kids, one has blue hair, and I was on that scene, so I think I just missed like the Marvel intro and maybe like a few seconds. But yeah, I missed all the adverts. They started the movie early. That was weird. So I shouldn't have stood for a hot dog, because the queue was so long, because half of them were taking so long, especially one family. Anyway, regardless, I saw the movie. I only missed like a few seconds anyway, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, my thoughts on the movie. I enjoyed it. It was pretty good. It wasn't like a great movie, but it was pretty good for what it was. There was a gender swap with one particular character. Some people will like it, some people won't. I don't think it was particularly like a woke thing. I think it fit the story, to be honest, and I think the character was still badass, but I also don't think this gender swap was necessary, to be honest with you. But aside from that, the movie has a good storyline. I like the characters. Florence Pugh is an actress that I really like. She's been good in the past few movies she's been in the past couple years, so it's no surprise she got such a big role, and I think she kills it. I think she does really well. Other characters good as well. Rachel Weisz, David Harbour, they play their role, and obviously Scarlett is good too, so she's great as well. And yeah, this is a prequel. This takes place between Civil War and Infinity War. So as I was reviewing, my lift came along, so yeah, my review was interrupted halfway through. I went to McDonald's straight after, actually. Went to the drive-through because I fancied a McFlurry. It was near the cinema. I thought, why not get a McFlurry? Got a nice Aero chocolates. But the car in front of us, they spent £40. You know, I'm not trying to judge. It might seem like I'm judging, but do you know how much McDonald's you got to buy to get it to £40? Because McDonald's is fairly cheap when you think about it. There are some things that cost a bit more, but you know, you can get a massive meal for £5.10. So to get it to 40, that's a lot. That's a lot of food. That's a lot of food. Again, not judging. But anyway, moving back to my review. As I said, it was pretty good. This takes place between Civil War and Infinity War. There is no, you know, links to what happens after Infinity War and Endgame. Obviously, like, there are references to that, references to what she's gonna do, because this takes place, obviously she ends up back with the Avengers in Infinity War anyway, but like there's a time period where there's Civil War, and then later on she goes on the run with Captain America and the rest. I guess they break out of prison, whatever, right? Before that, so in between that and Civil War, you get this little time period, and Natasha, as it turns out, has another family. And there's problems because there's this villain they got to take down, a villain who's very evil. And yeah, there's a lot of female power in this, and not in a woke way. And a lot of people complain about wokeness in Marvel and other franchises. Sometimes I understand, but in this movie, I would not understand. In this movie, I think everything fits the story. Everything fine. All the elements are fine. The way the women are used in this movie, great. They're badass. They're good characters, and they're brilliant. And, of course, the male characters are great. The villain is crazy, man. The villain, he is evil. He's evil. Marvel lacks villains that are good. You know, I mean, I don't mean good as in they're not good people. I mean, like, you know, good villains that fit the story. Most of Marvel villains tend to be quite weak. This guy, not as powerful as someone like Thanos, but in many ways just as evil. Yeah, I'm not going to go into it because spoilers. I think people will like Taskmaster. He is not the same as he is. I haven't read the comics. I haven't read the comics of Taskmaster, but I know for a fact that this is not the same Taskmaster as the comic book version. The comic book version, from what I've seen, from videos that I've seen, a lot cooler. This one is more like a toned down version in a way. Like, well, a lot of MCU's toned down anyway, so that kind of fits. But it's a toned down version. You're not going to get a full-blown comic style Taskmaster. You're still going to get someone cool who can fight really cool, who can mimic people's moves, but don't expect too much is what I'm saying. But there is a great twist. There's a great twist with who Taskmaster is. You might be surprised. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. The finale was awesome. I like the pacing. I really like the pacing because up until the finale, they don't spend too much time in a certain place. This movie, like the Captain America movies, the second and third one especially, they move around quite a lot. You know when they go city to city and they have the city in big writing? Budapest, Germany, whatever. In Civil War, you'd see that, right? They use the same font and effects for this to because they move around city to city quite a lot in this, and the pacing I think is perfect because they never spend too much time in one place. It's a movie where they constantly travel around up until the finale, which is the biggest part of the movie. And the finale was cool. Like, there are a lot of movies where I kind of want more from the ending, but this one I felt everything was fine. It was paced well. I think they ended it nicely. The story throughout was good. It was better than I expected. This is a movie that I felt was many years too late. Should have been phase 2 or phase 3. Again, this takes place between Civil War and Infinity War, so that's when this movie should have been. Then again, if they did that, they wouldn't have gotten Florence Pugh probably. I think her role as Black Widow's sister is really cool, so I'm glad they got her. And maybe she'll be in future MCU projects, I don't know. But yeah, this was a good Black Widow movie, in a way a good send-off as well. The after credit scene is interesting because it has some connections to the Falcon and the Winter Soldier TV show. Just so you know. But yeah, I'm just saying that there's in the after credit scene there is a connection to one of the Disney Plus TV shows which I just mentioned. So stick around if you are into the MCU. But yeah, I don't think this movie was like amongst the best Marvel movies. But for what it was solid and it was good. If I was to rate it, 7.5 out of 10. The cast was good. I like what it did with the cast. You get your usual MCU references. It did feel a little bit different. It still felt like a Marvel movie. It still felt like an MCU movie, but it also felt a little bit different. Just like Winter Soldier felt different, you know. It didn't feel like Winter Soldier, but I felt some parallels and there were some serious undertones to it. And also, there's a particular scene, and I don't mean Natasha's sister. There's a scene with another character where it's a bad character, but Natasha sees something good in them and believes they can change. I saw a very interesting parallel there between that and the Winter Soldier, where Steve tried to help Bucky turn. You know, at the end of Winter Soldier, I'm with you until the end of the line. That sort of scene is not the same scene at all, but the way Natasha spoke to one of the characters in this movie reminded me of Steve and Bucky. So yeah, interesting. I'm not sure if that's what they meant, but it felt like a parallel to me. But yeah, that's as much as I can say about spoiling it. It's a good movie, better than I expected. Basically a prequel. Obviously, it's phase 4, but it feels like it's phase 2 or phase 3. It feels like it's part of the... Because this happens before Endgame. So, to me, it's before Endgame anyway. But, still, to kick off phase 4... I mean, it's been kicked off already with the TV shows, WandaVision, but this movie I felt was good, and it's a good send-off for the character of Black Widow. And yeah, she earned her movie. She got it too late, but she got it eventually, and in the end, it wasn't too bad. I hope to see Florence Pugh again in the MCU, because she's got talent.
and I would love to see her do a lot more. So yeah, it was good. It was good. Also, there's a lot more widows in this, not just Natasha and her sister. There's more widows in this, and the backstory and everything will all be explained if you watch the movie, but I'm not going to say much else. There will not be a spoiler talk. This is it for my review. This is the end of the video on my second channel, but the vlog continues for a bit on my personal channel. So whichever channel you're watching on, either goodbye or goodbye in a few minutes.